Hi there, Andrew here. Love to be entertained but have no patience, so I give every new show I watch only one episode to hook me. Welcome to Debut Review. Okay, today we're watching the first episode of My Dad the Bounty Hunter. Another show that when I saw the trailer I thought was a movie. I mean, if getting old means that I just via its advertising mistake TV shows for movies and movies for TV shows, well, I'm doing better than most old people. So, how do I work this microwave, or how do I operate a VCR, or how do I use the internet or a computer in general? I don't understand how to use a phone. What even is TikTok? No, I mean, I'm fine with that. I don't use TikTok, but, you know. I don't use TikTok not because I don't know what it is, or I can't. It's because I don't care. You know? I mean, it's not for me. I know what it is. I could figure it out if I wanted, but, you know, modern day technology is not passing me by, at least not yet. I'm not bothered by anything the kids are into. Or maybe I just don't know what the kids are into. Well, they're into TikTok, and I don't care. So, but yeah, I keep seeing trailers. I'm like, oh, it looks like an interesting movie. I'll watch that. And then I find out that My Dad the Bounty Hunter is a 10-episode series. So, sure. Well, debut review. An intergalactic bounty hunter takes dad duty to new extremes when his two kids accidentally hitch a ride with him to outer space and crash his mission. So, what if Samus Aran took her kids to work? That sounds like a fine premise. Yeah, I saw the trailer, and again, I thought it was a movie. I never actually went back to look at the trailer to see if it actually says anything about being an episodic television series. But this has been a constant thing. Let me see. Can I remember any of the... Because I've mentioned this a couple times on this debut review show. Wednesday might have been one that I was initially under the impression that it was a movie. Maybe not. Brand New Cherry Flavor. Maybe I thought that was a movie. There's also been things I thought were TV shows and turned out to be just a movie. So, again, I'm if that's my old man quirk, I guess I can live with that. Although, it would be nice if I had a lawn, so I could yell at kids to get the hell off of it. Alright, My Dad the Bounty Hunter. Let's check it out. So I stood up, and I left a wet spot on the couch. And I'm like, you know, wearing pants. So that was kind of weird. I was like, how did I do that? Huh. I guess I am getting old. What actually happened is I did the dishes before I started recording, and I got the cuff of my shirt wet. And so I was leaning like this on my couch cushion, and that's what left the wet spot. Honest. So, My Dad's a Bounty Hunter. Alright. I mean, yeah, first episode, it sets up, you know, Dad is a intergalactic bounty hunter, which means that he's never there for his kids. Because he's always, I've got to go to work, a big job thing. And I kind of hate this trope. You know, it's like, yeah, sometimes you work long hours, especially if you know, depending on what your job is. It's like, I You have to, for me as an audience member to enjoy the show, you have to do a really good job with that trope, because otherwise I'm going to be against the family as, Dad is always at work. He just never has any time for us. You know, he's always working, and then when he gets home, he's like really tired, and because he's been working and, you know, making money so that we can eat and pay the rent, and such a selfish piece of shit. I hate that. Usually it comes off just really, really self-centered. It's like, not that you can't tell a story like that, you know, but I mean, does the mom work? Or is Dad the only source of income? Are they making, like, do they have plenty of money and he could really pull back the hours? Is he focusing, you know, not so much on making money to support the family, but furthering his career? I don't know. But it bothers me because for a long time I worked I was on the off hours support rotation. So when I was on call, I couldn't go anywhere or do anything. Hey Andrew, you want to go to a movie? Sure, but I can't because I'm on call. If I get called, I have to leave. So I can't really go out anywhere. Such a selfish bastard. Never has any time for his friends. Kiss my ass. I gotta pay rent, okay? You know, the job doesn't pay great. I'm on the off hours rotation for more money. It's why I also have a second job doing freelance writing. So I can do cool things like eat. So I don't know what this particular family situation is, but I personally get a bit prickly at this trope because to me it always seems unfair to the member of the family who is, you know, works too much and is never home. It's like, that may be the case. Sure. Yeah, you're right. I'm putting in 60 to 80 hour weeks every week. You know? Because and when I'm at home, I'm too tired to play video games with you, or to I come home and I just crash because I'm very, very tired. But, you know, at least we can pay the power bill this month. That's pretty cool, right? I mean, I don't know what their financial situation is. If Dad or whatever member of the family is working too much pulls back the hours, what's going to happen? Nothing? Plenty of money? Or are they going to lose their house? Because if they're going to lose their house, well then, it's kind of a necessary evil, I think. Now, I'm harping on this too much. What has it been? 5 minutes I've been harping on this. That trope irritates me. Again, not to say you can't tell a good story with that trope. And it's like, oh yeah, Also, kids suck. And the people I work with are pretty cool. And I can go out after work and have drinks with them. I don't want to drink with my kids. My kids aren't even old enough to drink. And they're not very good conversationalists. And they suck at video games. So, we have the money, really. I just don't like you people. No, so maybe I should talk about the show. So the title treatment for the show is really weird. It's called My Dad the Bounty Hunter. My Dad the Bounty Hunter! But my is rendered as a post-it note. So it's kind of like the show's name was Dad the Bounty Hunter and someone just sticky noted My on top of it. Doesn't make a lot of sense. Weird title treatment. Oh well. This is a 3D, a CG animated show. But there's you need to talk to your daughter about the fact that instead of doing the charity candy bar sales to raise money for the classroom or whatever, she organized a gambling den and took all the kids and the school's janitor for all the money they had. Okay. But that flashback is 2D hand animated. And it's actually a pretty gorgeous style. I was like, honestly, I might have preferred them do this as a 2D show. That looks really nice. But, it's just used for the flashback. No, it's not used for just the flashback. It's also used in a desktop photo. So the daughter goes to her room because, Dad is always working, making money so that we can live. Actually, the parent, I'll get to this in a second, but the parents are separated. They live in 2 different homes. So I would assume Mom works too. Unless Dad is paying for both homes. I don't know. This is a show for kids. They didn't get into the financial situation of these characters, so I have no idea. But the daughter goes to her room and pouts and looks at the family photo that she has on her dresser. Mom, Dad, brother, and her. And the photo is rendered in that same 2D hand-drawn style instead of the 3D. Weird choice. Why? Is this supposed to be an actual in-universe photograph of the family? Or did they, hire somebody to literally draw a picture of them? I don't know what it's supposed to be. It's just a really weird choice to me. But one thing I was actually pretty excited about and pretty intrigued by is the fact that the parents are divorced. And so, she looks at her phone. Oh, Dad's got to work, so he's going to be late in picking so he's asking me to drop off. He's supposed to come over to pick up the kids because they're spending the weekend with them. But he's like, hey, held up at work, can you drop them off? Jeremy or Dan or Dave, Larry, whatever the hell Dad's name is. Always working. So she gathers up the kids and drives them over, and I'm thinking, oh, hey, kids with divorced parents. Don't see that a lot in animated shows for kids. Usually if the parents are missing, they're dead. Rarely do you... It's not that it never happens. Can't think of an example off the top of my head. But yeah, if parents are in the picture, they're married. I mean, maybe they're having problems and they're just separated right now. But very rarely, I'm sure there's some examples, but very rarely are the parents just divorced. So I was like, well done, show. We've got a divorced couple. It's nice to, as a child of divorced parents. My parents got divorced when I was 5. And then, we moved to another state. So my sister and I grew up being ferried back and forth from California to Arizona and back to, visit Dad and then come back. I appreciate, seeing different types of families represented in media. It's nice. I'm 43 years old. I don't really care at this point, but I imagine there are some kids today who, their parents are divorced, and it's nice for them to see that is a valid type of family too. It's like, oh, well, okay. Yeah. But no, the show's too cowardly to do that. They're just separated. So I have a feeling this is going to be he's going to learn the value I love my family and I'm going to prove myself and get back together with my wife. That game It Takes Two? I've talked about this on the podcast, but there's a game called It Takes Two. It's about it's a 2-player co-op game. The premise is this kid's parents are separated or divorced, I don't know, or are getting divorced maybe, And she wishes upon a star or whatever that the parents stay together, which somehow turns them into like dolls. So now they're stuck in the but like small doll, like Honey I Shrunk the Kids. So they have to get through the backyard and back into the house to wish upon the magic book or whatever to restore them to themselves. And they have to work together. And do they rekindle their passion, their love for each other along the way? And do they call off the divorce and stay married and oh, happy family, blah, 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 blah. I don't know. I haven't played the game, but I hope they still get divorced. And that's not because I'm just a bitter, cynical old man who, hates relationships or something like that. I totally am, but that's not why. I just think it's valuable to show that sometimes relationships don't last. And it's often a bummer, sure, but it's okay. Not every relationship lasts. And sometimes, though it may hurt, sometimes that's for the best. Sometimes some people shouldn't stay together. Now, I have no idea how It Takes Two ends, but I hope they get divorced. And the child cries and needs therapy. So, My Dad the Bounty Hunter, the kids, the dad has the kids for the weekend and he gets another job, but it's like, all right, I'll do this one last job and because it's paying a lot and then I'm out and I can spend all my time with the kids. And so they stow away in his car and they find out that he's a bounty hunter because they end up in a spaceship. And the son plays with the buttons, which is turning on a bunch of colored lights on the outside of the ship, which apparently is the mating signal for a large space fish monster that really wants to get busy with that ship, which is a pretty funny conceit, I think. So they run terrified from a big horny space fish that really wants to copulate with them. That's okay. The little girl wants to watch literally Jack Frost. Not that one, the one with Michael Keaton. But in this movie, in this universe, it's called Snow Dad. But it's like literally the same poster. And she's saying, yeah, it's a movie about this father who doesn't pay attention to their kids and he dies. But he comes back as a snowman and learns the value of paying attention to his children. Okay. I mean, heavy-handed, but it is a show for kids, so. The design is pleasant. Some of the aliens that we saw so far are, round and cartoony and bouncy and fun. So, looks like we could have some fun stuff to look at. I mean, it ends... the main plot of the show we haven't really got to yet. He's on a quest to, you need to find this bad bounty hunter. Or, I'm sorry, you're a bounty hunter. You need to find this bad guy. That bad guy is going to turn out to be a misunderstood person who's actually a good guy. And the bounty hunter and his kids are going to, take the criminal or whoever they're hunting. They're going to end up protecting them. And learn the value of family, and then they won't stay separated, and they'll stay married. That's what I predict where the show's going. Am I going to watch any more of the show? I don't know. I don't know. Probably not. There's a segment in this show where the kid is playing a video game. And it's yet another example of, I really, 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 really wish that the creative team behind television shows or movies that want to depict someone playing a video game would take an evening at some point and just play a video game or watch someone else play a video game. Go online and watch a Let's Play so you get some concept of how video games work. To be fair, this is a lot closer to how, a team-based shooter, an online multiplayer team-based shooter would work. It's a lot closer than a lot of other media gets to actually depicting how games play. But it's, you know, if you're fudging the details for the sake of story, fine. But if the perception, don't know if it's true or not, but if the perception is that you're fudging the details because you don't know what the details are, I get mildly annoyed. So, yeah. Well, golly. My dad the bounty hunter, and a Moon Girl and Devil Dinosaur is the last debut review I did. Although you can probably tell because the missing blanket on my couch. I recorded them one right after the other. The blanket's in the wash. In fact, it's probably been done for about an hour and change, so I need to put it in the dryer. Low heat, so it doesn't shrink. I mean, I could put it through just, a tumble dry, but then I'd have to. It's $1.75 per round, and I'd have to do it twice to get it dry. So I'll risk the low heat, and then I'll just put some weights on it and stretch it out. If it shrinks, it'd be fine. I've washed it before. Anything more to say? Oh, the point I was making was Moon Girl, Devil Dinosaur, my dad, the bounty hunter. That's 2 cartoons for young children that this 43-year-old man just wasn't that into. Harumph.